with the comments. Clearly, this topic got people going as we figured it would. But let's go to another kind of player comparison, and that is between one of LeBron's teammates and also one of LeBron's other competitors, and that's the truth, Paul Pierce. He's made that comment years ago that he was better than Dwayne Wade,
And
and
Chauncey
obviously a lot.
Billups fried his ass on live TV. Fried his
Yeah,
ass.
I I I agree that Dwayne Wade is better, but this is an interesting conversation. He said recently that if you give me Shaq in my prime and LeBron James and Chris Bosh, how many rings am I winning? So Fabian, whoever suggested this topic can go ahead and give their thoughts on everything.
Well, I just think ever since me and Dom we linked, I think everybody we know, we always talked about Paul Pierce. It was always a comparison to Melo at first, and for me, it was always tough because everybody, a bunch of I'm a Knicks fan, so all the Knicks fans would say Melo, and I'm like, yo, do you watch Paul Pierce? Like when he comes to the Garden, I'm way more in fear with him and D Wade at Kobe Bryant at the end of a game. During the game, I know they're gonna figure out a way to score and kill us. And I just think somehow he became underrated. The D Wade comparison, I understand. I understand why people initially would just go, "There's no way possible he's on the same level." All the accolades, and the main thing really is D Wade on that court. His name is the Flash for a reason. Like he just looks like an athlete. Paul Pierce looks like a washed up athlete all the time. Like at no point in time did he look like any 5-star, whatever the hell you call it. But his game was always an old man style game, crafty, and he never really was charismatic like that. So I think people are getting carried away when they hear D Wade versus Paul Pierce. They think like there's no chance in the world, but Paul Pierce put it in an even better perspective than I could ever, because I think it was Flea that said it, right on still your point. Zach. I'm sorry, Zach from the Z Show. D Wade had only 3 seasons in his career where he didn't have an all-star superstar on his team. Paul Pierce had way more seasons like that. We didn't have that superstar all-star. For a long time, it was Antoine Walker, who was a Chuck. Like, he never had Shaq. Like, the way Paul Pierce broke it down was beautiful. He can go toe-to-toe with any one of your favorites. That's what Paul Pierce was about. Any one of them. So I don't understand where people get too, like off balance about this. He would go toe-to-toe with D Wade. When LeBron came to the league, he gave it to him. When Jordan was on his way out, Jordan hated his guts, like on the court, competitive-wise, because he would talk crazy to him and score on him. He's a throwback guy, just like Steph Curry. He's competitive like that. And I think that's the thing that people miss. They totally miss out on. Like, he's just as competitive as D Wade and all these guys. And scoring-wise, when it came down to it, crunch time, Paul Pierce was that dude, man. The truth. Ask Shaq.
So, well, okay. What are you saying though? You're saying D Wade is better, but Pierce is right there with these guys.
I think D Wade he has the better career. Like, he's too good. Like, talent wise, he's a different level than Paul Pierce. This is the conversation with Paul Pierce versus Melo was that Melo left too much on the table. D Wade didn't leave anything on the table. It was injuries that stopped him. Like, it had nothing to do with his skill set. He maxed out what he was. He was
over there itching.
He's 6'4". He's 6'4" and just played like a 6'6", 6'8" kind of guy. He was just amazing. That's the only reason why I'm not saying the only reason. I think just talent-wise and skill set-wise, he maxed out who he was. And Paul Pierce did as well. He just wasn't as talented as D Wade. And D Wade was injured more. So that's what brings it a little closer. But I can't say he's better than D Wade. But I understand where Paul Pierce's confidence is coming from. He has every right to feel that way.
Flea,
go ahead, because I see you itching. Go ahead, Flea.
I think Paul's delusional in even wanting to put himself in the same breath as Dwayne Wade, right? Wow. Dwayne Wade is top 3, top 5, let's say top 5 at his position all time. Top 5 at your position all time. And you want to have a conversation with me if you is as good as me? No. So let's paint the picture. Let's tell the whole story, y'all. Dwayne Wade comes in the league. He gets drafted with LeBron James, Chris Bosh, Carmelo Anthony, arguably one of the best draft class of all time, right? But he's the last draft pick. Let's talk about that real quick. Out of that bunch, he was the last one to get drafted, right?
He was the third.
He inherits a Miami Heat. I'm sorry?
No, he was the fifth pick.
He was the fifth one. You're right.
He's fifth, right? He went after Bosh. Okay.
Yeah, he did.
He comes into the league. He's a little older, right? Little older than them guys. Spent like 2 years at Marquette. Comes into the league, leads that Miami Heat team to the playoffs as a rookie. He does that. I don't know what Paul Pierce even did as a rookie, right? Paul Pierce got drafted. He came in the lockout season. He came into a team that already had an all-star on his team. Antoine Walker was already an all-star. So now we fast forward another year, 06. Dwayne Wade is the best player on a championship team in his third year of playing basketball on a professional level. The best player on the championship team. Oh, but he has Shaq. Let me be honest with y'all. Shaq is past his prime once he becomes the player on the Miami Heat. He is not Shaq of Orlando. He's damn sure not Shaq of LA. He's a different type of player. So now they win a championship. Dwayne Wade is the best player on that team. Y'all remember that 4-game stretch in the finals after they went down 0-2 to Dallas?
Yeah, of course.
40, 38, 43, 37. Start bugging, right? Paul Pierce could never do that. Ever. Carry your team to the promised land. Paul Pierce couldn't do it. I don't care what you put around him. I don't care. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. He doesn't have the skill set that Dwayne Wade has. He doesn't play on the defensive end the way Dwayne Wade played. Dwayne Wade leads guards under 6'4" in blocks all time. All time. This is all time. From the time inception, right? So we got to stop acting like Dwayne Wade led the league in scoring, then came back and averaged 29 a game. Like, we got to stop acting like it's that close. It's not that close. It's very far apart. Very far apart. Paul Pierce never made an all-defensive team in his entire career, but we love to talk about how good Paul Pierce was defensively. Effort, yes, but he was not good defensively. He gave effort, but he was not very good. So we got to stop this shit. It was not that close. I'm going to give the floor to AllBall, but we got to stop this shit. Paul Pierce, stop running around, talking shit, whining, acting like you was like that. You were great. You were rated exactly where you're supposed to be. But this shit about you as good as Dwayne Wade and you know you could hold LeBron James shorts, you got to stop that shit. Stop it.
Whoo, listen, man. Fabian, great point. Flea. I might have deserved, when flexing them drop the balls. Right?
Stop this shit, man.
No. But hold on. Let me say this. Both of y'all make great points, but I understand where Paul Pierce is coming from. Now, I got a different opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Pierce is that guy where no matter what, in his mind, and I believe it, can none of y'all stop me.
That's facts.
Can
they though? One-on-one, can they though?
Exactly. No, this is my point. Remember, Paul Pierce.
Yes.
I don't think people really can guard Paul Pierce one-on-one like that.
Who?
And almost no one. Almost nobody.
You said
nobody
can guard Paul Pierce one-on-one?
Nobody can.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
I think a lot of players you can say that about though, like generally, but I really don't think you can guard Paul Pierce.
Wait, I'm sorry. You gotta get back in your bag. Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
There's 3 people up here right now that think Paul Pierce is in that category of unguardable.
Yes.
100%. Y'all go ahead.
Yes.
Y'all go ahead.
Okay.
So contested jump shot maker.
So let me right. So let me say
Bryant,
this.
Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Kevin Durant.
All right. Let me ask you a question. Now watch this. No.
You think Carmelo Anthony was unguardable though? Because I do think he was.
Hold on, y'all. Watch this, Fleet. Let me ask you a question, because you're a basketball savant as well as all of us. But I respect your mind. Pause. Let me ask you a question. Are you comfortable? Game on the line, 10 seconds. Are you comfortable with Paul Pierce with the ball in his hand?
Yeah,
I'm the most comfortable with Paul Pierce with the ball in his hands. Almost.
Right. Hold on, Dom.
Anyone.
Right, Fleet. That's all we saying. So when hold on, Fleet.
That's not all y'all saying.
No.
My brother in the top. My brother in the top right corner right now just said Paul Pierce falls in the category of being unguardable.
He does. No, he does.
I totally can't guard him.
Fleet. Let me say this. Paul Pierce has a Finals MVP. D Wade has a Finals MVP. If we rate their careers with D Wade without having LeBron, Bosh, and creating that, there's an argument, and that's what Paul Pierce is saying. And I disagree with you. Shaq was still 70, 75, 80% Shaq. Shaq wasn't over the hill in Miami. I totally disagree. And we forget Lonzo Mourning. So he had a crew over there. Now, how many times has D Wade not make the playoffs and be irrelevant in Miami while Paul Pierce was over there in Boston making the playoffs, whether he got out the first round or not? Now, D Wade skill set, it looks way better. The flash, the muscles, the dunks, the quickness,
ball handling, shooting, defense.
Not shooting though.
Whoa, shooting. Aesthetics. He's just better.
This dude Paul Pierce won the 3-point shootout just to troll people, and he actually won.
Paul Pierce is
that was hilarious.
Paul Pierce is just as assertive, and I'm high on, and I've been saying this. You give some of these guys and let them jump around and let them form these teams. We seen what happened when Paul Pierce got KG and Ray Allen. They went to 2 NBA finals. So just imagine if he had that for a 5 to 8 year period. We only put D Wade where he's at because of those 2 rings he got with LeBron in them.
No,
I'm just without those 2 rings.
Ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Hold on.
D Wade could have ended his career in 2010.
And it's still amazing.
And we just still have
no. Don't do that. Don't do that. I did not say he wasn't amazing.
Yes, he would.
Wait, hold on. But what are we saying?
D-Wade could have ended his career early before the 2 championships with LeBron and Bosh, and we would
what
still
happens?
have the same reverence.
Easily a Hall of Famer still.
It would be a lot closer to Brandon Roy than what you're saying right now. Look, hold on. Listen. Look, what Domio said. D Wade didn't get past the first round for 4 years before Bosh and Braun came back.
So what?
Facts.
But he still won the championship.
You want to talk about after the fact now, after he reaches the pinnacle. Then we want to talk about how he failed after reaching the pinnacle as a third year player.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
This is a great conversation.
Hold on. If LeBron and Chris Bosh doesn't come and save D Wade and he get those 2 rings, are y'all telling me D Wade is still considered top 5 shooting guard all time?
1,000%.
Yes.
Easy.
Yeah. No, that's not what he said. Wait. Hold on. But that's not what he said. That's not what he said. What he said. Hold on, yo, Don. Wait. When people are talking, let chill out with the comments. When you can't tell me that this guy's career stops at 6 years and we're gonna put him at some other level. No, he needs those other years to come through and be D Wade. That's why
I can agree with that. But what I'm saying though, Fabian, is that he don't need all that other shit once LeBron and Bosh came. He don't need that to certify him for me.
No, not at all.
Once he came in the league and put a stamp on that team as, yo, I'm in the league. They tried to play D Wade at the point guard. Y'all remember that? When he came in the league?
Year. Amazing. What are you talking about?
For a year, he played point guard and took his team to the playoffs. They were garbage before he got there.
They were garbage, but they were good. Remember, they had to trade. They got to trade. They had to trade with Lamar Odom and Butler. Was not that bad. That team was all right. D Wade was the reason why they went over across the Baron Davis and all that.
Hold on, fellas. Can y'all give me the top 5 in no order is Kobe, Jordan, D Wade. Who's the other 2?
Drexler, maybe.
Let's be honest though. Let's be honest. I agree with almost everything that Flea was saying about why D Wade is better than Pierce. Like all the shit you were saying was facts. But I do think you're a little bit harsh on Pierce though at the end. But I will say, well, before you go, AllBall, I lost my train of thought. Go ahead, AllBall.
No. I just want to get this correct because this is why I always play devil's advocate because we going too crazy with D Wade. Hold on. Top 5 shooting guards. Y'all saying we have Braun. I keep saying Braun. We have Kobe, Jordan, D Wade, and who's the other 2?
I said I would say Drexler is somewhere in that conversation, and then for me, I would say West, but a lot of people have West as a point guard. So you know what I mean?
I remember what I was going to say now. I was remember what I was going to say. Fleet, is it fair that Paul Pierce's position, though, you said he's top 5 all time in his position. Isn't it fair to say small forward is a way better position all time than shooting guard?
I would agree.
Okay.
I would agree.
Okay.
I would agree.
But hold on.
It's tougher
Hold on,
position
but we don't
to crack the top 5 than it
Facts.
is for small forward. I would agree with that.
So where's AI, Ray Allen, and Reggie Miller at?
They're trying to fight for top
After
5, so
them.
you can't.
The
Yeah,
you can't.
is really good. I'm not going against those 5.
I think Chuck, you know, you got to put Chuck in somewhere up there in the top 5, top 10, 6. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
But
you know,
hold on, Fleet.
Reggie could fall out the top 10 for me. But
you're not taking Jerry West and Clyde Drexler out of there, are you? All if you have Jerry.
No. I'm not saying that. No. I'm not saying that. Fleet just sounds like me. You said you could take Reggie Miller out of the top 10 of shooting.
yeah, I probably if I sat here, if we spent enough time on this right now, I'm gonna name 15 shooting guards better than Reggie Miller right now.
Wow.
15.
Wow. I'm gonna just say this.
And that ain't gonna land on everybody right, because I know people love Reggie, but
D Wade gets all of these props because of those other 2 rings. Who his friend? This is my opinion. His friends, the super friends, went and saved him. If he still only has 1 ring, 1 Finals MVP, and then has literally nothing else, he's not topping nothing else. He don't have no other accolades. He has a lot of times where he missed the playoffs or got knocked out in the first round, bad records. How was we considering him top 5 and we not putting AI? Nah, I disagree with y'all.
Because
this is where the D Wade shit get out of control.
Nah, no, it doesn't. Because first of all, the D Wade thing never got out of control. For a long time, they started saying there was a time, to me, in my opinion, D Wade looks way closer to Mike than anybody else. Anybody else at his peak. Kobe looked like he was forcing his Michael Jordan imitation. D Wade was naturally off the glass. Whoa. I'm not relaxing.
You gotta relax.
I'm not relaxing. If you watch if you watch a young Dwayne Wade and you watch Michael Jordan in the 80s, it's very similar. They get to the basket with ease, no problem. It's very similar. I'm just saying.
It's not even close. It's not even close.
Okay, but Allen Iverson is not in that conversation. Allen Iverson was not that efficient. Allen Iverson was doing a lot of things. Like, he did not play all to his potential. He was chucking a lot. He was shooting 40% from the field, bro. D Wade is doing 45%, 47%. This is part of the reason why Fleet's going crazy with the Paul Pierce thing. I'm just saying D Wade is D Wade. I'm not trying to knock him from who he is. I'm saying the way you got Paul Pierce fucked up, dog. That's my point. You got we got D Wade. Maybe AllBall got D Wade messed up. I don't. But Paul Pierce, when he's on that court, is a threat at all times. And
if we're being real, with the only thing I was going to say to finish off on my piece for the Pierce and Wade is, I take Wade over him. Everything Fleet said was facts, but I agree with what Fabian said about Pierce. Pierce had this confidence about him that, I mean, bro, at the end of the day, I know he had Perkins and Garnett behind him, and it's amazing, but he really took the challenge to guard Kobe and LeBron a lot in 2008. And I give him a ton of credit for it, and he did a good job.
I give him a ton of credit, but when we talk about guys that sit in the chair and defend at that position, there's some guys that I've never seen do it the way that Kobe does it, the way that LeBron did it at his prime. There's a lot of guys that we could talk. D Wade in his prime will sit in the chair and lock you down. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not putting Pierce on that level. I'm not putting Pierce on that level on defensively at all. But
no, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think Pierce is on that level. I think, real quick, I'm gonna end my piece on D Wade. He wins in 2006, right? OG, you said that LeBron and Bosh kind of saved him, right?
Not kind of. The Super Friends win and save him. That's a fact.
Cool. But think about this, right? Because everybody does the ifs, right? I don't particularly care for that if shit, but we do it. So check this out. 2011, they lose to Dallas, right? They win that series. Miami wins that series. Who's winning Finals MVP?
Wade, without a shadow of a doubt.
Unanimously, Dwayne Wade wins that Finals MVP. So now we got 2 championships, 2 Finals MVPs with Braun and Bosh on my team.
Now watch this.
We lose because of Braun.
Great. Now watch this.
And Bosh. We're not going to give him a pass either.
Now watch this.
Were both non-factors. So come on.
Now Fleet, great. Listen. That's why you my brother. Great point. I can't even argue that. But then when you throw the coin up in the air, and it land on the other side.
Yeah.
You know what I say?
What?
You lost to a team that you shouldn't have lost to.
100%. 1,000%.
So
I don't
like I
disagree.
said, so
you don't
to
think-
me,
Go ahead.
like I said, look, when you called the Super Friends, look, Superman and them came through. Look, in Miami, I'm telling y'all, if LeBron and Bosh do not go to Miami, as great as D Wade is, it's nowhere in the world he's top 5 shooting guard all time without those other 2 rings. I'm sorry.
I disagree with that, but I'm gonna make Flea even more incensed. If you trade D Wade for Paul Pierce for those 4 rings, they might win all 4.
What?
Paul Pierce complements them that well. He's
What's the next
shooting.
What's the next topic, Dom?
Wow.
Fabian's crazy.
Ooh.
I don't know about that.
Crazy.
I love it. I love
He's
it.
crazy.
Hey,
Wait,
Fabian.
wait.
Hey, Fabian, I agree with you. How about
I
that?
did-
All 4
I
seasons they would have won 4 in a row
They would've-
because of
all of them.
Pierce.
Which
All of
them.
Pierce? though, are
Hey,
we
hold
talking about?
on. Again, listen. You're looking at it like I'm saying Paul Pierce is better than D Wade. No. Again, I always told you
Paul
I
Pierce
don't like to
doesn't
make up.
compliment LeBron James and Chris Bosh better than Dwayne Wade. We could
He
talk.
compliments them.
Why?
He compliments them
Why?
way better because he can
Why?
shoot. He can go off ball. Once you can shoot like that, it's over. LeBron is looking for shooters on the floor. Every time D Wade sat down, the offense got better. That's not normal. That's
that a
a
thing?
fact.
Really?
Don, Miami Heat won 27 games in a fucking row. 27 games in a row.
And then
They
what
were
happened?
the best team in the Eastern Conference by far.
What
for
year was
4
that?
years in a
I
row.
didn't ask you whether they would be the best team in the Eastern Conference.
You're telling me that they
I'm
would have
telling you, they would have beat Dallas without a shadow of a doubt. He's busting the Mavericks' ass. What are you talking about? I don't
Okay,
care
but
what team you
D-Wade
got.
was-
Hold on. I have yet to see a defense ever shut down Pierce like that in the playoffs. He played like
But D Wade didn't
He's
get shut
amazing.
down.
We shut
D-Wade was
I'm
we
not-
shut
no,
him
no, no.
down. We
Right.
shut him down.
who's we? The
The
Knicks?
Knicks, we shut him down. When we finally got over the hump and beat Boston in the first round, we did a
Did you
hell of a job on
You
Paul
talking about
Pierce.
2015?
He's talking about when he was year 15, but he was. He probably.
No, I'm talking.
I'll take anything great with the Knicks. Hey, man,
Right.
anything
I'm
great
just-
with the Knicks, I'm
I'll
running with.
have to concede that. I have to concede that.
Real quick. Do we forget that they win in 08? They come back in 09 and get bounced. Kevin Garnett's hurt, but they get bounced. They still have a great team. Ray Allen is still there. They get bounced. They make it back to the finals in 2010. After that, they started getting smoked. Like smoke.
Why?
Miami started
But you're
smoking
not right. But Miami is now the new, younger version of Boston, basically.
How is that
So,
a new
and-
younger version? They
What
just
you
they
mean?
competing
We
now.
can't argue that.
Now
We can't
now
argue
it's
that.
even.
We can't argue why they're younger. It's I can't pull their birth certificates, bro. But I'm pretty sure they're younger. That's just what it is. And
You know,
if Paul Pierce is
Kevin-
there, he
Kevin
balances them out
Garnett-
different. That's my
Kevin-
opinion.
We love to say Kevin Garnett was over the hill when he became a Celtic. Kevin Garnett won Defensive Player of the Year as a Celtic, right or wrong? Yes.
Yes.
How are you over the hill? How are you out of your prime? How are you not a effective NBA player and win that award and have to put it during that time?
Can I ask you a question? Down.
sorry?
He
Down.
he tore his knee up. It really wasn't. I see what you're saying. It wasn't really age as much as it was. He tore his knee up. He was kind of done.
No, I'm asking, how could he win Defensive Player of the Year and be? Oh, I got Paul Pierce said to Cam and Mase, I got these niggas when they was out of their prime. What did we watch?
Yeah,
What?
Ray Allen was out of his prime.
Ray
They
Allen
both
was.
What are we talking about right now? Ray Allen was
Garnett
way out of
was
his
one-
prime.
Garnett's the first season in Boston before he messed up his ACL or whatever, or his knee. I forget what it was. He was still. You could qualify that as the last prime year. He was still like a
Last
top
prime
5
year, but
player
he was elite.
in the league.
He was elite.
Now-
Top 5 or 6 player in the league.
I'll show you your argument, Fleet. This is where I lose an argument. He never mentioned Rondo. That's wild. Rondo's in his total prime at that point. So that is
No,
where
in
he
2008,
should have
he's
mentioned.
not.
But
Yeah, no.
I'm talking about after that. After
facts.
yeah.
Let me ask y'all a question down before we go to the next topic because it's going to flow right. It's going to flow perfectly for me. But let me ask y'all this. I know it's a big if, but that's what we do on here because we love the game. If we switch the roles, if LeBron and Bosh go to Boston and your man get 3 rings, and let's say your man stays in Miami, doesn't win no more rings, how is this discussion? How does that make y'all? What's y'all opinion on that? Does Paul Pierce get boosted up a little bit, or we keep it at this level as far as like it's not even close?
Well,
It's
what
not
would the
close for
Bucks-
me because I'm watching I'm watching basketball players, right? When we start
Right.
talking about, you know, LeBron and Bosh go over there and now he wins and all of that shit, for me, it would just elevate him all time. Because now all time you're going up against guys like Dr. J, you're going up against like Bird, Kevin Durant, Braun. All of these guys got hardware, right? So that
Right.
would only elevate him for me on an all-time level. But if that was to happen and we sitting here right now, 2023, talking about who's better, I'm still gonna roll with D Wade just because I know what I was watching.
Okay.
The team accolades and them winning chips doesn't really. It don't move for me. It doesn't move anything for me.
Okay.
I don't think any one of us. I don't think anybody has Paul Pierce over D Wade, but AllBall, right? Like we
You
all have D Wade better.
No.
Huh?
I'm not gonna say this. I'm not gonna say I have Paul Pierce over D Wade, but I'm not gonna discredit Paul Pierce and think he's not on that level.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, if the super friends don't go save him, to me, this conversation, the gap is not as wide. To me, the gap is wide because you can't argue 3 rings against 1. People can say what they want to say, but I'm always going to be realistic. I'm not arguing 3 rings against 1, but I understand what Paul Pierce said. Give me that. That's why I said, if certain players have a certain amount of rings, it's different conversations. It's different. It hit different. Go ahead, Dom. I'm sorry.
I gotta agree with you, AllBall. Even though you know how I am. Like the championships I differentiate it because of how much has to go into winning the chip, right? So there's players in the league that are just that good that changes everything, right? You get Kevin Durant in Golden State, that changes everything, right? You take Mike and put him back in Chicago after he retires, it changes everything, right? There's guys that are like that. I just don't feel like the conversation changes much if Paul gets 2010 went 7 games. He could have beat Kobe. I'll say this. Paul Pierce beats Kobe Bryant head up in 2 finals. I'm talking about something different.
That would have been a huge difference.
You know what I'm saying? Now we talking about something different. But
I think, yeah.
You know,
Allen
that didn't
and Garnett
happen.
were a little
But
underwhelming.
because you got to think about that. 08 and 10, if he beats them both those times, head up against Bean.
So now you're playing into AllBall's point, which is the whole flaw that everybody uses championships to discuss all these, individual accolades.
I was just saying, I was adding. Fabian, listen to what I'm saying. You have great listening skills. Listen to what I'm saying.
Don't try to shade me like that. I'm trying to shade me on live TV.
I'm sorry, brother. You know I love you, baby. Listen, what I'm saying is that the aspect of competing against Kobe Bryant and outlasting him would elevate Paul Pierce for me. Fuck the championships. I'm saying if you playing going head up in the finals and I get the best of you, I would feel a different way about Paul Pierce. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't see when he didn't prove any of that. I think to answer AllBall's question, I don't use the NBA finals for none of that stuff. Like Pierce proved himself in the playoffs when it mattered, whenever it happened. Like he just didn't have the talent that the Carmelos and the D Wades had and the LeBrons had. But I believe if he did, it'd be just like why Kobe, I always say it sounds like a broken record, why Kobe was tight as Shaq. Bro, if I was you, nobody would talk about Michael Jordan or anybody. It would be over. They might have ended basketball if I had 7 feet and 300 pounds and move like that. If Paul Pierce had a different athletic build, it would be over. He might be the best player in the game. He just had the mentality and the will to get better. He just did.
And he was very skilled.
We're live, Fabian.
Extremely.
We're live, Fabian.
But let me say this before we go. No, you could never compare Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen going to Boston to LeBron and Bosh going to Miami. It's not even close.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't. That's irresponsible.
Disagree.
Yeah.
So you know
what's
interesting?
I disagree. Y'all are bugging because
D-Wade was averaging 30 points.
Because KG was reluctant to do the trade for that very reason. He didn't want to be looked at that way. It's still we know this is Ray Allen and Paul Pierce at the end of the day. This is as soon as the trade happened with Kevin Garnett, it was championship expectations. It wasn't
100%.
as super promoted because it wasn't LeBron James and D Wade who have all these commercials. It was guys like Paul Pierce and Ray Allen for the most part under the radar. KG, he was almost that super level, but he really wasn't quite there in terms of popularity.
Bro, they won 60 games.
Right. I'm talking about
year. They won like 62 games.
Right. So what I'm saying is KG knew this. He knew that there was a level of not just the expectations were real. I think that it is the same thing. Like you got to go over there and you better win. LeBron and Chris Bosh joining D Wade, you better win. So to me, I didn't mind LeBron leaving. I never minded that because the general manager and the owner of Cleveland stunk. Just like KG was going through the same thing in Minnesota. They messed up his career in Minnesota. They were damn near doing the same thing to LeBron in Cleveland.
No, they weren't. The Cavs had more help than the Timberwolves. The Cavs tried to get better. They just couldn't get a second guy. They tried to get better every year. They put a lot of shooters around him, a lot of defensive players. I'm not saying they were a championship team, but they weren't as bad as revisionist history tries to make it out to be.
Yes, they were.
Flip Saunders built that Minnesota team up too right before KG decided to leave. They weren't a shit team once he was deciding to leave. Like they had some better players. They went to the Western Conference Finals his MVP year. Like so,
and also
that team there had more talent than Cavs. I'll say that.
I disagree with saying they messed up his career. They gave one of the biggest contracts of all time at that time. So I disagree with that. Minnesota.
So we could look up the Joe Smith trade and see what happened in Minnesota. They got stunk. They got messed over, bro. They really got messed over. What McHale did to them was
that's a front office thing. They dropped the ball. They fucked that up.
Yeah.
I just said they messed up Kevin. The front office and the owner messed up Kevin Garnett's career.
Okay.
And it hit Minnesota for years after that. It was just
hold on. And for who? All the hoopla for who? Respectfully.
Okay.
Joe Smith.
You put it like that, I got you.
Hey, Joe Smith was former number one pick, y'all.
Yes.
I hear what you're saying, Fabian. But I'm saying
that's his trophy. That's Flea.
When Joe was coming in, boy, Joe got drafted before Rasheed Wallace, and people was like, "What the? Are y'all crazy? Like crazy?" Yeah.
Yes.
Joe's the same draft as KG too. He got drafted before KG.
Yeah.
So yeah, damn, I didn't even know about that. So yes, all ball. To me, yes, the Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen thing going to going to Boston is the same thing as deep for me as LeBron James and Chris Bosh going to Miami. The biggest difference is here's the biggest difference. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry, I don't mean to veer off.
There's two huge ones.
The one big one before you go, Dom. They're all in the same draft. That's crazy.
That's not what I was
That is nuts. You joined the other two superstars in your draft. You're supposed to compete against them, Braun. D Wade, Bosh. All of you guys are suckers. It ain't just Braun. Braun is taken, and that's what's not talked about, Flea.
I've never heard that. I've never heard that aspect of it. They were all in the same draft and decided to play together. I've never all the years. I've never heard that.
That was dope.
I've never heard that.
But hold on, Dom. Hold on. What Dom said is two differences that we all missing. What is it, Dom?
One, that they set it up between themselves, not with Danny Ainge making trades. They called each other and they were homies and said they wanted to play together. Secondly, they were going into their primes.
Good point.
Dwayne Wade was averaging 30. Like he was literally like
he just came off of what
hours. And Bosh was really good.
Wasn't he leading the league in scoring?
Yeah, he was leading the league in scoring. It's like you literally put arguably two of the three best players in the league on the same team. Because I think it was Kobe, LeBron, and Wade that in 2010 as the three best players in the league. You put two of them on the same team.
Can't argue that.
Garnett, Pierce, and Allen were really good, and I agree with Fabian in the sense that they had to win that. They had to win, Pierce, Garnett, and Allen. But I don't even know if any of those guys would. You could argue Garnett was top 5, but in 2007 it was like because his team wasn't good and people weren't watching the Wolves like that. You could make an argument for certain other guys: Kobe, LeBron, Tim Duncan, even Nash was. I don't know if I'd take Nash over Garnett, but he was more in the public eye in 2007.
But it's wild.
That's all I got to say.
D Wade was coming off a scoring title.
Right.
Braun was coming off an MVP, right? Braun was coming off an MVP.
Yeah.
And
crazy.
And Bosh was obviously an all-star.
All-star, yeah. Averaging a double-double, what, 25 and 10 maybe or something?
10, yeah, easy.
Hey, I agree with go ahead. I was gonna say I agree with Fish here in this comment. He said, y'all forget Boston wasn't on Kevin Garnett's list. He wanted to play with Bean. Yeah, facts.
Wow.
He didn't want to be with the Celtics. They didn't want to like collude and play together. It was like, oh my God, I'll give in at the end.
He was gonna
Yeah.
he was gonna go to that we believe team, to the Warriors. The Warriors
Yeah.
gonna make a play for him too.
Crazy.
That was insane. So
All
was
right,
that when
so-
he gave Amari 50 points?
Big shout out Fish, man, in the building. My guy Fish.
What up, Fish?
There's a lot of people in the building, man. A lot of
Yeah, shout out
comments.
to Fish. Shout out
Big
to
shout out
everybody.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
man.
Fabian got
but
mad.
just to finish that topic, because me and AllBall was saying this off air. D Wade and Chris Bosh do. LeBron is taking most of the bullets for linking up in Miami. Them guys don't get enough bullets for linking up
Because
with
D
their.
Wade, I said he set it up.
I don't care who set it up. You're talking about LeBron is not competitive. It's that and the third. Meanwhile, the most competitive guy in the draft, D Wade, you linked up with LeBron. Steph Curry still catches strays for that. Kevin Durant catches strays for the Golden State move. Nah, y'all linked up, man, in your prime, like you said.
Right.
Where's the competition at?
You're spitting facts. I think the only thing I could say is the difference is we hold LeBron in the conversation with the Mikes and the Kobe's in them, and that's why we get on him for it. And Wade is respectfully one tier below those guys in my mind, and I think Pierce is a tier below Wade too.
But Fabian, we can get to the next topic, but we can make that a topic one day. That's a great point. A lot of guys be ducking strays, man, and we need to start putting them on blast. And D Wade and Bosh is one of them now, for real, because we kill Kawhis and LeBrons and KDs. Listen, man, guys be ducking them strays, man.